Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 17th of February. So in the UK, it's for many schools it's a holiday, so we may see a bit lighter volumes coming through this week. But in particular today we've got a US bank holiday which is likely to ensure that the afternoon is certainly lighter, and well, may just see a bit of thinness. There's no other news coming out today, so we are left purely to the devices of the technicals. So let's start off with looking at the euro dollar, and well, it's last week. I'm looking at last month here actually. Last week was certainly a down week, but this current month here, I'm just looking at this month because I'm just trying to identify areas of support here technically, and we've sort of been running out of them quite quickly. The sort of next sort of key levels, as I said on Friday, I think was or Thursday even, was around about that 105 area, which is right down into 2017. This is a long, I mean, we're running back to 217 lows at the moment, so we'll see anyway how this continues to run. But for now it does look soft. Has the weekly pivot above. We missed it completely last week, never even came back to it. Well, we'll see how it does today, but there's not a lot of cheer within this. I think the continuation of any retracements generally becomes opportunities to sell. Now I would like that weekly pivot out the way. It was set around about, what's it, 83 0840 ish. Sorry, that's where we're sitting at the moment. It's sitting at 108.72, so we're sitting at 108.40, so it's about 30 pips away. Got the potential to run up there. That 21 may just get in the way. That 21 at 61 would probably give us a good sell point potentially, with the stop the other side of that pivot. We'll see how it rolls from here this morning. I mean, if it was quick enough and it pushed through that weekly pivot, would certainly be something I'd look to sell into. Now I would imagine, I haven't looked at it this morning, but the retail market, it's probably very much long on the euro. You normally see this when the euro's been sold off so long, so it's the thing that it's just got to be watch out for those sort of those squeezes of the longs here. But as I say, at the moment the potential for a little bit of a pullback there. Sorry, these pivots are wrong at the stage. Let me just click on those and adjust that back to the daily bar. There we go. So we see the prices round the pivot at this stage. Okay. It's just a bit of patience this morning to let it show its hand. It could be a trade to the upside earlier on. I'm just looking at 108.60, 40. It could be a sort of a 20 pip trade back towards those prior highs bodies on the way there. We'll just see how it develops as the first thing, but likewise there's a trend line that's running across the lows between Friday's absolute low and this morning's low, which could be an alternative sell point if it does sell off quickly. Okay, just change that to a 60-minute chart. Right, anyway, let's push on and look at the pound. Now the pound in general has been holding up better. It's sitting back within its original trend there. It managed to close through it, stay above it. It's run into its daily 50, struggling around that a little bit here. Bring it down to the 4 hourlies here, and it has got the weekly pivot below, which could be a reasonable target at 29.43. It's nearly 90, around about 90 pips away, isn't it? So we just have to see if that pulls back. It may be as I say, we're setting up nicely on this hourly here, so if it does break the trend line that's sitting across the lows there, maybe we've got potential back towards that sort of level at around about the 1.3 area. Probably be the safest point. So that's where we're sitting at the moment. Right, that's the pound. So, but the pound in general, I should say, is or has been relatively bullish relative to some of these other markets. So we've got to be a bit careful there. Dollar yen. Well, overnight we saw some data coming out, but I was looking at the GDP actually come out overnight, and some soft old numbers, but anyway, it's really just consolidated in a very tight range. We're seeing 109.60 through to, I mean, there's about a 40 pip range ish in where it's sitting. Will it push on through and continue to the upside? Well, there's, I mean, just look at it. I mean, the whole of last week, just, well, if what it's going to do really makes little difference because I won't be trading it, so I'll leave that aside. Looking at the Aussie dollar then. Aussie, well, early part of the week pushed up, pulled back Thursday, Friday. Still got the looking here, the monthly pivot untouched above there at 67.90. It's, again, look at it on this 4-hourly chart, and it's been pretty much running sideward through most of this last week. Even there, chopping away, not giving a really clear sign of things to come. Maybe it's showing a break of a trend line that's going across the highs there this morning, but it's very, very slow. Not much else can really do with that. I mean, you can look at it on the 60 minutes, but it just looks like quite a mess. So that's the Aussie. Canadian dollar, another mess. In general, it's dropped down a little bit here last week. It started strengthening, some reasonably good news through. Has got the weekly pivot back up above now at 32.71, which might just draw it up. Side of that, I mean, again, just lots of chop here. Can't see any logic in really certainly on intraday trading this, but even on a swing basis, it's not really showing anything too clearly what's likely to happen. As I said, the only thing it may do in the short term is run back towards that weekly pivot. But New Zealand dollar, let's have a quick look at the New Zealand dollar. Last when was it Wednesday? It pitched up on the more hawkish tone. Sold off on Thursday, pushed into a slightly lower high on Friday, lower high, lower lows on Friday. Stalled where it is at the moment. Again, just look at the price action. Sums it up pretty much flat. So I think we really need to see some movement out of these markets. They're just chopping along at the moment. Favourites for this morning, maybe if the euro could break its 60-minute 50, maybe it could be on for a bit more. And the pound, well, it's almost like an each way bet on this, but on the downside there, if it was to break the trend line there, well, there's the pivot below, the weekly pivot below at around about 130. Okay, have a great one. Bye for now.